Hello, 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 everybody. I am Bec Da Silva, and this is the Embodied CEO Era. I have a very special guest with me today, Bec Da Silva. She's a client of mine. I love her so much, love everything about her, what she stands for. And we created something amazing together, co created with God, the three of us, called the Glow Up Project, and it's just an incredible program, and I wanted to bring her on here so that she can plug it, because we both have this understanding that the more women that can be their true self, the better off this planet is going to be. So hi Beck, thanks for joining us.
Hello, thanks for having me so much. I'm really excited to be here.
Yes, it's so good. Our conversations are ridiculous. Like we are
Uh,
like so in sync with each other. It's like it's
it's
actually funny
crazy,
sometimes.
but it's good. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so tell me about yourself and tell me about the Glow Up project.
Okay, so obviously my name's Beck. I'm a mum of two adult kids. I have over the years done a lot of, I guess, work on myself, but after meeting you and, really working on my intuition and my path and what I'm here to do, we came up with the Glow Up project, which, it's like my baby. I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of what I've achieved so far. So it's a 28-day program on Telegram where women uncover who they are. Um, and they step into, a place where they no longer abandon themselves. And, I feel like this is really important for women these days, because a lot of women are, I guess they're on the same page. They come to a point in life where they realize something has to change. And they realize that there's more to life, and they're not sort of quite sure what to do. And that's what I'm here for, to really show them the way home to themselves, and guide them into, I guess, a new version of themselves, the one that they were born here to be. So yeah, so I feel really motivated, I guess, helping women, because I relate to them so much, because that's who I used to be. I used to be the people pleaser. I had mum guilt, um and I guess I relate to them in a way, because I've experienced a lot of the things that they have experienced in life. So I can sympathize and empathize with them, but also I'm there to guide them that there's another way. They don't need to be stuck in this place where they're unfulfilled. They I guess they're not enjoying their life. So that's what I'm there to do: hold their hand and, you know, guide them to something better.
Yeah, I love that. It's so powerful. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it's so needed, because there's so many people out there that like business and have you frozen or
No, no, I'm still here. Can you
okay?
hear me
because
still? Yep.
because you've got the fan going on behind you, so when the fan starts to freeze a little bit, I'm like, oh no, here we go. Because we are, if you're listening to this on the podcast, we're doing this on Zoom, and yeah, we're recording through Zoom, so I can see the fan behind you.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many people out there that don't really talk about this side of stuff a lot.
No.
It's like fall in love with yourself, and it's all just kind of surface level. Like go and get your nails done and your hair done, and you'll feel amazing, and that will raise your vibrations. But like you go a lot deeper than that. It's
Yeah.
definitely it is
Oh,
part of it, but also
it is. And it's sort of, I feel like getting your nails done, or, doing something like that, it feels great for a moment. But then you've got this deep rooted issue of, like, whether it is that they're a people pleaser, or they don't speak their truth, that's still there. So by getting their nails done, like, they feel good about themselves for a moment, but there's still that ingrained I guess, old version of themselves or the version of themselves that they no longer want to live with. And yeah, and that's sort of where I sort of step in and let them know that all these feelings that they're feeling is normal and it's part of being a human. And that, I show them the way that they don't need to feel guilty or they don't need to be a people pleaser anymore because there's a way out of that. Um, it's like we've been conditioned in a way that it no longer resonates with people. It's like they're all sort of starting to wake up and realize that feeling guilty over something that when you say it out loud, you sort of think to yourself, why am I feeling guilty over that? And it's just because we've been conditioned that way. So yeah, letting them know that you definitely don't have to choose that path or stay stuck where you are, that there's another way.
I was like literally burping the whole time you were talking then. I was like, I'm releasing so much energy, probably from you, from me, from the collective. Because, like, I
Yeah,
remember there wasn't that long ago that the study came out that a lot of, especially women, are experiencing like a lot of chronic pain and a lot of like autoimmune system issues and I never can say it properly, fibromyalgia or
yeah,
whatever. And a lot of it stems from us suppressing our emotions and suppressing our essence. So it's like
yeah.
something like what you do is really important because in a way it's going to help benefit the health in that kind of thing as well,
Oh,
because you will, when you feel better about your internal reality in a way that you help them, they want to get better in a way of, then they start exercising, then they start eating better. And it's not necessarily because they just start feeling more worthy of having a body that feels
definitely.
good to
And
be
it's
in.
like it just changes the trajectory of everything. Like you said, they start eating healthier. They start wanting to look after themselves, whether it's walking every day or going to the gym or, all of these things. It's like that chain reaction of events as soon as they start, looking after themselves internally. Because you're right, we do suppress our emotions and it all comes down to conditioning. Like, it didn't happen to me as a child, but I did watch, through other people and especially, I guess, boys, but I did see girls as well, where if they were crying because they fell over or, something had happened and upset them, they were pretty much told to suck it up.
Mm,
To stop crying, they were being a baby, or all of these things. So all of a sudden, you're growing up with suppressed emotions and it festers inside you, which I guess for me, it did happen quite a lot because that's what I was conditioned to do, was to suppress them emotions and not speak my truth. When as soon as I gave into, you know what, I've had enough, I'm going to speak my truth, I felt so much better within myself, just
mm,
having the courage to sort of do that. But I do have two autoimmune diseases, which, when you do talk to some doctors, they ask you, have you had stress in your life? Have you had some sort of trauma or some sort of, I guess, suppressed emotion? And that's where it stems from or where it starts. It's like that core root of, yeah, of where it all starts. So, yeah, no wonder we're all walking around with some sort of illness these days, is because we were conditioned to suppress.
yeah, yeah, 100%. And I like, sometimes like I'll be walking through the shopping center or whatever, and I'll see an older, much older generation, like beyond the baby boomers, kind of old, like 90-year olds or something like that, and they're walking around the shop and they can't stand up straight, like they're so hunched over, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I would love to like pay for you to get a massage done or something like that.
Yeah,
But I feel like it's like the weight of the world is on the shoulders and they can't speak up. So they're just like slowly
100%.
just
That's
getting more hunched over. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like, dude, I wish I had have been able to help you when you were like
Yes.
vibrant. So that's the end goal, to help people, help especially women, to not shrink themselves so much that they start to actually, it starts to manifest in their body.
Oh, definitely. And it absolutely does. I'm burping now. I'm releasing energy as well, which
That's so
happens
fun.
so often in your presence.
It does.
Um, I find I do that. But yeah, no, it is so true. And I think, people, especially like women don't know that there's another way. They don't know that, a lot of them will shrink themselves, um, I guess they stay in a place that they don't feel like they belong, or they're not happy where they are, but they're just like, well, I'm either too old. Even, someone in their 40s probably thinks they're too old to make any changes. um or they're just, what's the word I'm looking for, they're settled is the
Mm,
word. They're just settled that, this is my reality, when it doesn't need to be their reality at all. There is a way out of this.
yeah, so powerful, so powerful. So there you go.
Yeah,
You're never too young, never too old to start
that's it.
down this kind of thing. And like, so I just have a question for you that you probably like have, you might like freak out a little bit at this question, because I just like, I haven't really prepared you for this question.
That's okay.
Um, and I kind of forget what the question was now. Oh my
Ah,
Lord. Um,
well, look, I know that since working with you, um, I've even seen the changes within myself. Like I've done a lot of inner work, to help myself. But, working with you, I've come out of my shell. I say yes to things that, my body's going, oh my God, can you do this? But I do it anyway because I know that I need to do it. And if I'm going to get any better within myself and within my business, so I trust your word. But I find that for me, like trusting myself more, and just being more aware. So the more I see you, the more we work together, I'm aware of all these other things, going on, where, like we spoke earlier, I'm more sort of in tuned with, okay, I'm in my head, because even though that I have this little megs on my shoulder that, tells me, you're in your head, get out of your head, I'm aware when I'm in my head, which is great because, we all have choices, but I can just flick that switch and go, okay, I need to get out of my head now. And, and this has really been good for my nervous system as well. And you've noticed, little things in my nervous system that, we work on. We, constantly regulating things. So yeah, so it's been amazing working with you. And I know that I know other people would benefit because yeah, I just can't believe where I am right now.
yeah, you've come such a long way in such a short amount of time. I was like, when we jumped on, because we just literally finished a coaching call, and I was like,
Yeah.
just stay on the line, and we're going to do a podcast. Um, but yeah, I was like, when you jumped on this morning, I was like, oh my God, who is this Beck? This is not the same Beck I was talking to 2 months ago. Definitely not.
No.
Like, you're just completely, completely different person. So the question I was going to ask you before was like, say people come to you and they do feel like they're too old, and they do feel like, um, you know, like I honestly feel like a lot of it came from people believed back in the day that women are meant to be seen, not really heard. And the
Yep.
women will all congregate in the kitchen, and the men would be resting on the lounge or in the sitting room, or whatever else like that. And it's like what do you say to those women who are so ingrained in the whole, like, my emotions don't matter and I'm too old to change things, and like my husband is never going to allow me to change because he's settled as well in who I am? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what do you say to those kind of women who want and can see that you would help them, but are not confident enough to truly step into it.
Yeah, look, I would let them know that, you can do anything at any age. It doesn't matter how old you are. I think we need to, I guess, get out of our head that you need to be a certain age to make any sort of changes. And, I feel this comes down to the conditioning side of things. Like, back in the 1950s, the men went to work, the women didn't. They were seen, not heard. And, that's probably a sentence everyone's heard before because this is the way we've been, conditioned. But I would let them know that they absolutely can change. And, you know, I would sort of let them know by like little things that they can do in their everyday life for themselves will make the biggest difference. And the biggest thing I think is speaking your truth. For someone like that, I feel that they're suppressed to speak their truth because, like you said, their truth doesn't matter. As long as they do X, Y, Z, it doesn't matter what they feel, what they want. But, we do live in a free country where, you shouldn't have to feel like you can't speak up because of, your partner or, your family and friends because maybe it's improper or maybe it was improper back then. Yeah, but everyone deserves to feel seen and heard and I would just let them know that yeah they can definitely and I guess I would ask them the question that why are they feeling like that now, something that they want to do but they don't feel like they can do because obviously something inside them has switched to make them think that, maybe I don't have to just settle in this relationship. Maybe I can do things within the relationship. And I feel like they feel that when they open up to that sort of that question, they think that by doing the work that their relationship's going to end. And it's not the case at all, because the more they work on themselves, these sorts of things I guess it doesn't reflect, but it evolves in their own relationship. I think that's the word I was looking for. Um, but I find that their partner can appreciate them on a different level by
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because I like, I've struggled with chronic pain like the endometriosis, and like, I don't like the way my husband looks at me when I'm in pain.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like when I'm in pain and he's looking at me and he's like he's worried and he's anxious and he's like, I don't know what to do. Like I don't like that look on his face. But
yeah,
when I walk out and I'm not in pain and my hair's done because I feel good inside and I want my external look to reflect what I feel inside. So, I mean, if that's a hoodie and a bun for you, great. For me, it's like I put in a little bit more effort
yeah,
in my hair. Like I honestly just dried it off this morning, but like I know how to work my hair, right? Because I was a hairdresser. But when I walk out and I have that confidence that I know who I am, I know what I stand for, like nothing else really worries me, and I'm like fully in myself. My husband's like can't take his eyes off me. It's like looking at me like I'm this goddess that just walked out of the bedroom. I'm like, sometimes I'm still in my pajamas and I'm like, what are you looking at? It's like, you just look so good. I'm like, I don't feel like I look good, but thanks. Because of what you were saying, it's like you actually working on yourself can be a bit of a aphrodisiac,
oh yeah, definitely.
like so that might be a thing to say to the clients is like, well, from my experience, the more happy I am within myself, the more my husband supports me
Yeah, definitely. Because
because
I
he
think
wants to
they want
see.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
They
100%.
they want to see you happy because when you're not, at some point, a man must feel like, is it him? He might have some guilt come up for the reasons why, you're feeling this way. Has he done something wrong? And sometimes it's just as simple as, we've been conditioned to, not speak because, maybe we thought we would I guess not dismiss, but the connection in our relationship wouldn't be the same if we, spoke our truth. But in fact, by speaking your truth, it's totally different. It usually goes on, it goes the other way than you really expected.
Yeah. I was actually watching Modern Family again. I've been binge watching that lately. So I'm gonna like I have a lot of stories that relate to that. But like Gloria, that she's the one that's like the I think she's Cuban. I don't know. Can't think right now. But she's like the reason why I don't have like a big breakdown is because I have lots of little breakdowns and I speak my truth and I say what's on my mind instead of bottling it all up and then having
Yeah.
one big explosion. So
Yeah.
it's like the more that you can talk your truth with your relationship, it's like then you're not going having this one big blow up and everyone feels like they've like ruined your entire life because they don't help with the dishes.
Yeah, but it's true, exactly what you're saying. And I think shows like that, um, people that have experiences can relate to it. And they go, oh, yeah, that's sort of similar to what happened, with me. So I think that's why, you're sort of watching that and yeah, it cracks
It's
it
just
cracks
showing
me
up
up.
in different areas of my life, so it's so funny. And I
Yeah,
dream
no, it
about it
sounds
now
good.
because, that's what empaths do sometimes is we absorb so much from the stupid TV that then we dream
Yes.
about it. Okay, cool. So how do people get in contact with you, Bec Da Silva?
Okay, so I am on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, so they can definitely reach out. If they just put in Bec Da Silva, I think I'm the only Bec Da Silva on there. But yeah, they can definitely reach me that way. Send me a message, and yeah, and we can start working together. So yeah, pretty simple.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to just pop your link to your Facebook profile in the description so you guys will be able to find it super, super easily. So thank you, Bec.
Thank you
I
for
have
having
one more
me.
question for you.
Yes.
What is your biggest value when it comes to this kind of stuff? Like, what is it that drives you forward?
You know what it is? It's the connection or the reconnection. And it's for me, like there's a lot of women out there, and once again, conditioned. I know when I was a teenager, all these magazines with these models and you were expected to look and be and act a certain way. So a lot of these people have got trauma around that. And, they're so disconnected from themselves. They look in the mirror, they don't like what they see. And I can relate to that. And it's really good when, they can sort of look beyond that and, reconnect with who they are. For me, that lights me up. I love seeing people who were sort of disconnected, reconnecting with themselves. And it's sort of like until you experience it, once you reconnect with yourself, then it's like all of these areas in your life, the reconnection. So your relationship becomes, on a deeper level, the relationship you have with your kids, with your family, with your friends, because you're so comfortable with who you are and you sort of flourish from there,
Yeah,
if that makes
beautiful.
sense. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Like I
Thank
said,
you for
I have
having me.
so much love for you. You like, yeah, the transformation that I've seen within you over the past few months has been like absolutely incredible. And now it's like starting to really reflect on your external realities, finally
Yeah.
starting to catch up with those internal shifts. And those are that evidence stacking that we talk about and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. It's like, when you really start to see how your internal world is
Mm.
currently shifting your reality, you're like, oh, now I'm addicted to this kind of stuff. And it's like the better life gets, the better life gets, and then the better life gets from there. So
That's
thank
it.
you.
Definitely. Yes. I love you too. Thank you so much for having me on here. It's been an honor.
All right, love you heaps. And
Okay.
if anyone wants to get in contact with Bec or with me, there is the Embodied CEO Era, which is the free group that I have on Facebook. I also have a Telegram group that is under the same name, the Embodied CEO Era. I will put the link to that in there as well. And I go in there and do free, powerful transmissions in there every single week, sometimes twice a week if I'm feeling like it.
They're very powerful.
Thank you. So, yes, love you all and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.
Bye.